Peace and power to the descendants of my ancient mother. My name is Brother Legend, and I'm here to raise your consciousness. Today, I have my lovely wife as my co-host.
Hey, y'all, beautiful family.
You can join us on YouTube, BIGBROLGND.
The glare is real.
Yeah, the glare is glaring. And we got the filter. You see how it's like green? But yeah. What up, what up?
Oh no, say what you guys. You said everything you had to say.
Oh yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let the algorithm know that you're getting something from the live. And what else? I think that's it. What up, Mystique? What's going on?
Good evening, y'all.
Everybody tap like.
Yes. Tap, 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 tap. They don't be tapping, but we need y'all tap, 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 tap. Come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Here's the topics up top.
You know what? Yeah. So today we got some things up here.
Oh yeah.
Some topics to talk about. Are black people African? Are interracial relationships hostile? And are you pro-black or anti-racist?
Do you know the difference?
That's the question. A lot of people don't know the difference. That's what we're here to answer. Y'all can answer some of the questions down below. Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Oh, I'm new to live. I'm like, what's that? Okay.
Tommy is hilarious. Oh no, not on your For You. That must have been because you was on the bunny algorithm. You was on the bunny algorithm. Now they got you.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be pushing me that.
Oh, this is cool. Tap, tap, tap. Here we go. Oh, what are we going
we get
up
to 2K.
2K?
Yeah, we get to 2K.
Okay. Why are we waiting for everybody to come in?
They gonna be here. Go ahead.
I wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about the topics. But I know how you bring up, like, so, anyone listen to Kendrick's diss?
Yeah.
What you think about that? How'd y'all like, with any thoughts?
Team, is there any,
Team Drake, Team Kendrick?
Yeah. Like Edward and what's his name? I forgot.
Edward.
Yeah, from that vampire movie. What up?
Oh yeah.
B1 Entertainment. What's going on, Professor?
Hey y'all. Okay.
I support black businesses as an example. What do you mean by that? An example of what? I believe black people are of African descent. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. They answering. Okay.
Yo, I'll tell you this. Peace. Fire G, what's going on, sister?
Hey, girl.
Yo,
hey, Miss Lady. Hey, Queen. I gotta stop saying girl. Y'all some queens.
Y'all some queens, absolutely. I'll tell you this. Kendrick and Drake don't got smoke for the people that cash their checks. They don't got smoke for the white CEOs of the white-owned labels. They don't got smoke for none of them. That's who I want to hear Kendrick diss. I want to hear Kendrick diss some of the people that are profiting off of him and Drake rapping about who's blacker while they're battling about who's blacker. You're not going to see no one dissing Lucian Grange or Jimmy Iovine. You're not going to see anybody speaking to those two. But they will get paid as we argue with each other. So that's what's interesting.
Yeah, that's something to talk about.
Not all skin folk is skin folk, absolutely.
Yeah. Cause there's a war against our people, and we gotta fight harder to stay together.
I heard that.
Black love.
Absolutely. Black love is revolutionary.
All about black love. I love to see it. Gender war my ass.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. Yes, hey, Miss Lady. I be trying not to say girl. But hey, Queen, Auntie Gemini Jess. Oh, your name's
y'all
Jess
got the same
too?
name.
Jess.
All black or African. Absolutely.
Yes, amen, thank you.
I think we scared away all the pretendians. We already scared away the pretendians. I don't know where they at. They be in my comments on Twitter. Oh. I dropped the phone, y'all.
Now he don't do this with no other live.
Cause we're using this clip thing. All right. Oh,
okay.
But yeah, don't drop us. Nah, we good. We back.
Ooh.
See,
It's
the clip.
okay.
It's the clip, y'all. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
It's the clip. It's it cannot be touched.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's better.
Hey, Leisha.
What up, Leisha?
All right. Oh, so we gotta talk. I guess keep tapping, you guys.
Yeah, we a clip. But all right. So what were we saying?
We was talking. Oh, we got some other topics. We was talking about black love though, coming together and stuff. And the last guy said, "Are black people African?" Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Yes.
I heard that.
Yes. I don't understand how people could deny their ancestors. That makes me like go crazy when especially Egyptians do it, because it's like you're denying your own ancestors. You know that, right?
That is wild. I never thought of it that way.
Like,
that is wild.
You know they weren't light skinned with blue eyes trying to build the pyramids, right?
Wow.
I don't understand that. But I don't know. That was my thought process. I was like, this man really on the news with his green or blue eyes or something, light skin, talk about they're trying to Afro-centralize or something, you know, Egypt. It's like, wait a minute, sir. Do you know where you came from? I don't know.
Egypt is in Africa. Remember we was watching that debate, John Henry Clark, and the guy said, even if we concede that Egypt is in Africa, like, where is it then? Like,
where is it? And then you brought up to me, I had no idea, guys, that part of Palestine, what we know Palestine and Israel, was part of Africa.
At one point,
back in the day, on the maps, it was Africa. It was Madagascar. Is that Madagascar? And then it was like Palestine, Israel, what we know now.
What we now call the Middle East was at one point
actually
considered part of Africa. And if you look up any old maps, you'll see like when they talk about Africa, they'll have the Middle East as part of it too. But yeah, the Middle East isn't real. Yeah, it's not really the Middle East. It didn't become the Middle East until they built the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal cuts in between what we now call the Middle East and what's Africa. So that's man-made. So a man-made canal is the reason the Middle East is no longer considered part of Africa.
That's crazy.
And that happened in I think they finished it in the early 20th century, early 1900s. Oh no, or was it the late 1800s? It was around there, but yeah.
Oh.
So. But yeah.
They trying to take Egypt with them. They are.
Right, that's the weird part.
It's so weird. Like, it's so weird because these are your people that we're talking about. We're not trying to change history. We're not trying to, we talking about your ancestors. And it's not like we talking bad about them. We just saying they were dark skinned. Oh, right. They were dark skinned. Be so for real. That's what people say.
Yeah, y'all know about the Hyksos invasion. You know, they came and they invaded the Asiatic people.
Mm, I'm reading.
We can't. You go to Egypt. Uh,
You was reading this. You go to Egypt, they look at black people like foreign. Yeah, they do.
yeah, I heard they'll come up to you and say, "Queen, Queen," like, and
Uh,
like they would call me a king, but they would just like be calling you king and queen and pointing and saying you're the real Egyptians. Like they say all that to get money out of you when you black over there. That cannot be the etymology of humans. I refuse to believe that. Yeah, they want to take pictures and stuff. Yeah, but they'll say something different when you turn your back. Is what I'm saying. They'll play into it because they know Afrocentric people worldwide have probably been going to Egypt for at least the past 100 years. So they know to play up that whole thing. I seen a video of some like dude in a tourist spot like harassing somebody to buy a headscarf they put around their head. Like they be on your body a little too much. I'm not used to it. I'm American. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Texas. People don't roll up on people like that. You know what I'm saying? Might be consequences. They got plenty of Nubians in Egypt. That's a fact.
yeah.
There would be no Egypt without Africans. Like we know for a fact, Egypt was built by black people. Like we know that for a fact. Like the thing that they want to argue about is whether or not the Egypt that we don't even argue that was built by black people was as effective under their rulership. Like they see it as when the Asiatic and Greek Mediterranean people started to come down. That's when all the great stuff happened, and that's not true. Like the biggest pyramid was built.
Greetings, brother.
Hey, peace, brother. What's going on?
Greetings, greetings, greetings. It's nice to see you with Madame next to you finally. He's been putting in the work. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, talk to us, brother. Give us some of your answers.
Now, I was just gonna add in on your Kemet part, because the names have been changed a lot, and we need to stop calling it Egypt. It was Kemet, then even Kemet before that. The brothers from Nubia, Sudan. That place was called Nuba. So the reason why it's been split in half, why we're saying that Sudan is burning, is because the original ones are the ones who are close to the edge of the Congo, and then the other ones, the Habibis, are taking over the other space. So Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, Somali, this is where the new breed is taking place. So what's going to happen is that while they populate themselves, they're going to need more room. And that's where the issue is. That's why we keep saying that we need to protect the center, because they're just continuing the project that they're meant to finish, because they never finished the interior of Africa. The Congo is big to squeeze that whole American continent inside it, but people cannot fathom the concept of the illusion that they gave us on the maps. They shrunk Africa and make the rest bigger. So psychologically, in your mind, you think Africa is very small. And this idea of that our ancestors only exit up through the north and the other side, Nigeria and Ghana, it's not the only spaces they did that. Ancestors traveled all the way to Madagascar, ended up in Australia. Then Australia ended up in the China side. Then the other side of the other continent, that's how they ended up in Brazil, then America or the Caribbean arena, etc. Then at the top, that's how they got to England and the rest of the places. So when you see these castles, it's the same concept that you see in Zimbabwe. We use building constructions without adding concrete in between the cracks of the rocks, same concept. Then you push it up, you find the pyramids you find things in Congo, but people don't talk about it, Nigeria or Niger Congo. Then it goes all the way down to Kemet. Then Kemet, you keep pushing all the way outwards. So it was still the same people. So the original name was Bantu. Bantu is the deep story that's connected to even cosmology levels and whatnot. So when you say Bantu, it's the same concept you'd see Wakanda. You enter into a dome called Wakanda. When you enter into Wakanda, you find these other clans. So it's the same thing as Bantu. When you enter there, you find the Zulus, the Ngoni, the Dongon, the Chewas, the Bakongos, whoever you want to name in there. But then because that name was hindered, then they gave us the name Akebola in Africa. Then because they couldn't name us while we branched out, because you will be too complicated, they just have to give you this one brand. And they say black, because they see you in that tone. Then they call themselves white. But then when you look deeper, some are happy to call themselves Caucasian. And then after Caucasian, that's when they say, I'm Scottish. Oh, I'm this, I'm French, I'm this, I'm that. So they destroyed us on so many names. They've just been rebranding us as they go. So today, when we're using this DNA testing thing, what they're doing is that they're cashing in the record, and it's still going to confuse us because now I'm black. They're telling me that, oh, you're 20% Scottish, I'm 20% this, the 80% I'm somewhere in Africa. So I wouldn't know where to land. But instead of us just following where the heart speaks for you, if you look in Africa, just gravitate where you're feeling, and you'll be able to just settle down there. Because some of us, our mothers buried our umbilical cord when they gave birth to us. That's why we feel that ring to go back, you know. But it may have happened to you during your previous reincarnation, but you still, that's your land, it belongs to you. You didn't have a name because ancestors knew that we were mingling all over the whole planet. So that's why they didn't give it a specific name, because we're sharing with animals, etc., etc. So today you ask these other people, I hate to call them species, where do you come from? They can never tell you. They don't allow us to go to the Caucasus Mountain and do investigation so we can know where they come from. But they're the ones telling us where we come from. So it doesn't make sense that anybody in diaspora, you are perpetuating saying that his story is the right way to tell me my story. So now Africans are telling you the story from an oral perspective because we still hold those memories, the stories that ancestors were telling us who we are. That's why you'd find these crazy proverbs. That's where ancestors were hiding these messages, Sankofa. Da, 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 da. So now it's tickling in your bones thinking, ooh, what does that mean? But you can resonate with it. So your DNA is still speaking the lingo of your ancestors. But because the language that we're using, of course, has distorted how we feel, how we communicate. So it just leads to their own world where we have adapted how to view love. And they know how to survive. I mean, they just have to use our sisters as a host for their eggs. That's what they do. And they survive. So we're just in the mingled lenses where we're not meant to be viewing through their lenses. We're meant to view it in our own terms, you know? But unfortunately, yeah, that's where the downside is.
Yeah, I heard that, brother. Thank you for that breakdown.
You see, when we say are all black people African, this is another hook. Because remember, we said that not all skin folks are folks. So what happened, for example, Somalis, not 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they didn't want to be black. They wanted to be with Habibi. They wanted to join the Arab League. But now, because they noticed that everybody's retreating down to Mama Land because of the cobalt and whatever, they want to come back there. That's why they're saying black. So even us who belong on the land originally, when we're telling them, I'm not trying to send you back to your mother's Pandora to go where you come from. I know you're here. But moving on forward, we don't want to have a conflict. So if I see you dancing with the enemy, automatically you're my enemy. So again, this issue here, that crossover of the border, that's what's causing that melting down. And now when you say black, does that mean anybody who is melanated is classified as black?
That would be with a lowercase b.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
See, we're talking about with lowercase b.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I got it. Yeah, I was just trying to explain that as well because When you land in Mama Land, everybody keep thinking it's just a diversity land. We used to know that we're as one. Bantu is just plural, meaning like, yeah, it's melanated person, but it wasn't two, meaning that you're full human. That's how deep it went. But then when you just say black, anybody can claim black now. So who is who? They look like us for sure, but Kagame, Museveni, Rwanda president, this Uganda president, they're not like us. You can tell where they come from. If they were real, true people who belong there, they wouldn't be doing any and none of that political business switch behind whatever. They wouldn't. And if Kemet belonged to those Habibis up there, they wouldn't be digging their own ancestors to find out if those things belong to them. So they're graveyard thieves. Not only that, if they really know about the pyramids, they would have refurbished that stuff long time ago. They would have added a skyscraper, whatever, fix it, polish it, because it belongs to them. But it does not belong to them. They don't even know how to use it. So the rest of you are able to wake up because of those artifacts there. But people don't understand spirituality. We're just in a realm where we need to manipulate material, but our mind, when it comes to spirituality, that's where they compromise us the most. So we lost the spirit of togetherness. That's why Pan-Africanism was a powerful pillar, especially for diasporas, because it was about black consciousness, not because of just building material, black consciousness. But again, today when you say Pan-Africanism, Habibi's in there. He's in there. When we all praise Gaddafi, Gaddafi is an Arab man. You abandon all your ancestors who came before him, and you're praising him to say that he is the legend of Africa. That's you losing it. So again, some of us retreated all the way back. We had to find out who built the pyramids, who built the Zimbabwe ruins, why were ancestors dwelling across to the rivers, what were they doing? Do you guys think that we didn't travel around before these guys existed? Do people know what China, who was running China? So yeah, we've been washed. And as we keep it, we're going to keep getting cleansed out. No one can ever birth black. No one. No one can birth black. We can do it to them, but they can't birth us. So if we understand self-preservation, family preservation, village preservation, that's how we're going to survive. Because that community barrier is broken. The family is being dismantled apart. Our sisters are being unalived in hospitals here in UK as well. They're doing the same thing. So vice versa. So wherever we come with diaspora, it's not going to benefit us. Mzungu is happy. They're cooking. And this time they're going to come hard. If we are struggling just to communicate, imagine the babies. Just imagine the babies. If me and you are struggling, just imagine the babies. We don't have the pum. It's invisible chains. This concept of thinking about. Go on, brother.
Daniel, where you from?
Go on, brother.
Where you from?
I'm from Africa.
Africa? Okay, that's cool.
Malawian Zim.
Oh, wait, let them finish.
Yeah, let them finish.
And then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll learn quick. I was just gonna say that don't get too caught up on this pillar of money. Africans, we knew how to trade amongst each other without needing money between us. It's called barter trading. So this time, in order for us to survive, just half it. Do barter trading half, meaning that you can trade amongst ourselves without needing the cash. The other side, play the money thing. Why am I saying barter trading? Because when they start playing that game about the inflation, money gone down, we lost money, blah, 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 the currency gone down, it's not going to bother us because I can still trade with my brothers. Ancestors had all these systems in place intact. But like I said again, we didn't get to tell our own story. We had it better. We understood how to balance. It was not a competition between us and our women. Our women used to run the economy side of us. When you go to Africa, who do you find the most in the African markets? Sisters. All these concepts of mining, we had to get permission from our women to say we're going to do X, Y, B, Z. They'll help us out. Oh, take this amount, whatever. If you harvest your crops on the soil, you let the soil rest. Then you can plant again. But today we don't do that. So Mzungu doesn't like nature. Mzungu is the one trying to force you how to navigate your existence. So you need to be careful. Don't get too trapped in their world. The kryptonite that they gave us is the materials. That's why they had to take your materials and replace it with their stuff. They kept them. They're in the museums. You see them every day. That's just the little nigo, that the little tip.
All
Where
right.
is the rest?
So
Yeah,
hold
I'll
on.
land there. Yeah.
So here's the thing with Bantuism and some of the stuff that you're saying. Like, I think it resonates. I don't like it when we start to look amongst ourselves and try to create lines where there are none. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense. Like, if you look at the Bantu, it's just people that are from or indigenous to Central and South Africa, and look at them as the only definition of people that are black, then what the hell is going on with the rest of us? You know what I'm saying? We can't just change, just because we don't like what some other people that are black did, in the past or do to this day, doesn't mean that we have to look at them as a completely different race. It's like,
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, brother legend. When I say Bantu, I'm not just speaking about Africa. Like I said, just keep in mind, like read between the lines. You have people who have been in Africa. Me, myself, I've been in this country since 2004 or 5. I've never left. But I'm going back home this year permanently. But me being here, I disconnected the story of Africa. So I was here with all of you guys feeling the same pain. But what we're saying is that ancestors in Mamaland, they knew how we used to call ourselves. When we say Bantu, I'm not disconnecting saying the brothers in diaspora, they're not called that. We know, when we say Bantu, we know who we're talking about. But then if you look yourself, when you go back to Africa now, like I said, Habibi left his kids. Now they're called Nilotics, they're called this, they're called that, whatever they're called. But now those indigenous people have their own name that they used to use to identify themselves. So now, when we say that word, the reason why they're gonna lash on us is because we're literally recollecting ourselves. So it's not a word, it's not a movement, it is what it was. So we're not even saying that we're recruiting anybody. No, we're not. We're just saying that this is what we were called. And we can explain it.
but here's the thing: you used it as a way to indict Gaddafi, when Gaddafi actually, uh, what do you call it when you talk down on something? Like, he cut himself off from the Arab. I forgot. I don't know if they called that League or something.
Yeah, the Arab League.
Right. Yeah. Like, he disconnected, full of wealth, that if he were not thinking in a sense of Pan African, he would have did what was best for him and his people, right? But he put his African identity before his Arab identity. Not saying he's black, but he chose to, on a governmental level, still choose to have solidarity with people from the continent above his Arab comrades. Do you know what I'm
If
saying?
yeah, if people understand,
But I also wouldn't use Gaddafi as a measure for who's black and who's not when we talk about Pan Africanism, because Pan Africanism is the belief that all of us in the diaspora, exist. Basically, it's just saying we're all one family. It's saying we have a shared land, history, and culture going back thousands of years, and we all black. We all African. That's all that means. It doesn't mean including Arab North African people in the definition of black. It doesn't mean Gaddafi was our hero. Because when you mention Pan African heroes, Gaddafi's not even in my top 5, but I do like what he did. Well, some of the things that I hear that he did remind me of what I'm now more proud of with Ibrahim Traore. Like, I think he's the reincarnation of Sankara, and he shows it. but he's also not Bantu. Would you say he's not black?
Who? What? Thomas? What? Ibrahim Torre?
Yeah.
No, he's Bantu. That's why I'm saying that you need to look at where the story is coming from. Africans down there, they knew their heroes. The same way that you are looking from diaspora perspective and say, oh, Gaddafi has done it because they've been amplified. It's the same thing people would say Mansa Musa was the richest man in the world. Why? You think he's the most richest man in the world out of all the people who were there? You just have to pay at the narrative that they've painted. What I'm saying is, again, in diaspora, I'm going to say Mama Harriet Tubman is my hero. She's my hero because I love what she did. So I'm following that model. Marcus Garvey, yes, he was a G. He was doing his thing. Gaddafi, now you're talking about the perspective of Africans watching someone who doesn't belong on that land coming in, having all these pillars conversations, but in between the cracks, there were people screaming out loud saying, hey,
He
don't.
denounced them. That's the word I was looking for. He denounced his Arab identity.
But
And
then, if you think, yeah, but them Africans watching the situation, they knew that Arabs would come in during the trading. They would leave seeds, mingle with Bantu women, and then they'll leave the seed. And obviously, we all think, oh, it's kumbaya, it's all good. They will leave, but then they'll come back again and tell the kiddo, yo, you know that land right there is yours. That's how
but what I'm
Mozambique got
saying
going.
is, despite the identity politics of the situation, like using one person to vilify an entire, it's not even a movement. Pan Africanism is an ideology. I think it's weird when people get it confused with a movement. It's not a movement. It's an ideology. It's just a belief that there's a brother that looked like me in Africa. We look like we could be cousins. And
That's why I said it was about. That's why I said it was about black consciousness. I said that earlier. I said
yeah,
Pan-Africanism. I love Pan-Africanism. I love that. But I'm saying today, when you look at it, Arabs are involved in the same thing because they think we're as one. Wow, they're doing their thing in
I
between the
haven't met
cracks.
an Arab Pan African. You have?
There are plenty. Go to Ethiopia. Go to Australia. Find them here talking. I promise you, you
But see,
find them.
that's what I'm trying to say. They wouldn't fit the definition unless you mean a black Arab
But
person.
because they're on the land, pay attention to them.
No. We get confused when we say African. We mean those that have land.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying to you, someone who's dwelling on Africa land
I
will
know, but
put
I
themselves
have
in that
had this
pillar.
conversation
Mm-hmm.
with a few brothers and sisters from the continent that
Mm-hmm.
get Pan Africanism confused because they think Africa and they think only the continent of
No,
Africa.
no, no, no. We don't
An
think like
Arab
that. No,
born
we
in
don't.
Africa, if I don't care if his great grandparents was Arabs in Africa, if they are Arab today, they are not African. Those are not African people that we're talking about.
Okay, so brother, like myself, when I hear Pan-Africanism, I'm not saying that it's only Africans. Trust me, I know that. That's why I said we didn't even call the land Africa or Akebulan. We knew that anybody who's coming from our lineage is there. So when these names were coming, we know what the agenda was. We know the mission. That yes, it was about
Everyone is
us.
indigenous
Huh?
Africa.
Go again?
Everybody didn't call Africa one name, but there were names for
The clans, yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The
I
clans
gave
were there.
the indigenous word of Africa.
Oh, brother legend, look at it this way. When you guys call yourself diaspora, under diaspora, you find multiple people, right? But you have one umbrella, right? Diaspora, you're called diaspora. So it's the same thing. That's why I gave you an example, simple example. Wakanda. What do you find under Wakanda? You find all these other entities. Or Arab League. What do you find under the Arab League? You find the rest. So that's the same example. So that's why I said we understand that yes, it was a tool that we had to use to raise our consciousness back again to recollect. But right now, moving forward, they have managed to enter into those spaces. They'll speak as if we're as one, but we are not as one. I know my people. I see
Send me some
you.
videos of some Arab Pan Africans taking the lead, please. You got to send them to me because I
Okay.
don't know who you're talking about. You're telling me
Okay.
Arabs are leading Pan Africanism. Pan Africanism, which by the way started in the West, And I, as an African American, this is the homeland where we now call Pan Africanism, modern Pan Africanism, Afrocentrism. Like we do that well. Like that's our thing, you know. Like I would be shocked to see an Arab Pan African, and even if they are, you know, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying
Brother Legend, I think you
they're
think
not
I'm
leading.
saying that they're leading. I didn't say they're leading. I know who originated, like who created the Marcus Garvey, etc. We're fully aware of that. But I'm
Yeah.
saying moving forward, the people, in order for them to feel like that we're one, they're getting themselves involved in that label. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If they belong in Africa today, they call themselves black.
I don't
Then,
think Pan Africanism would let them through the door. See, that's the thing that people get confused when we talk about black, right? What makes a black person a black person? Land, history, culture. So we're saying, do you have African ancestry? Do you have an African phenotype? Because all
but
of
the
us don't
brothers
know
down
our.
there are not asking those questions. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It looks like it's one umbrella. When they say Africa, Morocco, Libya, or the rest of other people who are bringing down this, whoever it is, they still put themselves in it. Because again, they're the ones
I've
running
never
the
been
game.
to any. I've been to many Pan
Mhm.
African events. I've never seen some Aladdin from Morocco come up into the event. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's big. I don't think that's much of a problem in Pan Africanism. It sounds like, you know, that would be a problem to a Pan African. I don't see where we're letting them in. You know, we got problems with Aladdin here too. He buys up all the gas stations in our cities.
Because that's
So
what they're doing down there as well. That's but like I
I
said
know.
again,
So that's what
with
I'm saying. I don't see. I understand some of them might call themselves African, but I see black people call themselves American every day. It don't mean it's true. So you know, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's an actual like touching grass problem. But let
yeah,
me get some more.
I
Let me
was
go.
speaking abroad. Like I'm fully aware of Pan-Africanism and Bantu. Like I said again, it's not a movement. It's literally our identity, and
Yeah,
it's
no,
okay if
I understand that. I understand that.
and it's okay if it's gonna take you time to understand that, and that's fine because there's so many layers that were created. Some of us it was easy to connect with that because I come from there. I was born there, so I understand that part. But it's okay. We have patience for our people anyway. But
All right, because he's about to get disrespectful. Let's go to the next guest. What up, Timothy?
Mm.
What's going on, Mo family? How you doing?
Peace, peace. What up, man?
Hey, Timothy.
Hey, Queen. We out here.
Hey, D. Hey, yo.
It's about time that she got in the dang on camera. It's about
I
time.
be in the kitchen. I be outside. I be all in the back.
No, I know Bantu isn't a movement, but him and his friends like to separate themselves and try to,
Has he done this before?
yeah. Um, what up? What up?
Hey, yo. No, I
Um,
want you to finish with your thought.
Tia, now we finna get the relationships lives. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could do that. But, okay.
all right. Matholo, give us. Oh, you left. All right.
Both of them left.
Yeah,
All
they
right,
ran.
fine then. You don't gotta be.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say we
wait,
know
explain.
Bantu is not a movement. Bantu is it's actually a colonizer term. Bantu is technically a colonizer term, but nobody that identifies as Bantu wants to acknowledge that. But it's just much a colonizer term as the word black. So
make yourself available at 11.
that's it's a word that came from the people, but it was their word for people.
Ah,
A man named
no,
Wilhelm.
no, no. I
A,
was
a
about
man
to
named
drop down. Wait a minute.
a
Wait a
man
minute,
named.
brother legend. I
Hold on,
was
hold on,
about
hold
to
on,
drop.
hold on, hold on. Relax, man. All right, let's take a deep breath.
Oh.
A man named Wilhelm Bleek came to Africa, found out that the words that they were using, the word that they were using for the word people, Bantu, in different, tribes or which you call societies that he was visiting. he found that word and decided to call them all Bantu. But the word itself comes from Africa, but the identity in naming ourselves Bantu comes from Wilhelm Bleek. I am so I looked that up.
We are not naming ourselves Bantu. By the way, you're putting a twang on it. It's not called Bantu. It's Abantu. Abantu means people of the land of Africa.
Yeah, see, that's what I just said. He
There's
found
no
out that
term.
they all kept saying the same word for like people, and so he
There's no
said,
term.
"These are the
There's
people."
no term called Bantu. It's Abantu, meaning people of
All right. Well,
the
I
land of
speak
Africa.
English, and I might mess up a few words. I think the ancestors will forgive me. You sound like you got a problem. You all right? Like, I think the ancestors will forgive me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just the accent. It's
yeah.
just the accent, but
Like, he about to go to war over it.
No,
It's
thank you.
like, yo,
No.
relax.
No, thank you for that. It's just the
Yeah,
accent.
but nah, you right. All right. Abantu. I don't see the opening vowel there. So I've only heard people call it Bantu. I've even heard Dr. Umar say that. I don't know. That's my American accent.
Okay.
But anyway,
Oh, that's
see.
all he wanted to say?
That's all he wanted to say. He
my
just want to come up
God.
here and start stuff because the person that was up here before him does the same thing. I'm not sure what to call
Y'all
you.
can't be up here. I mean, you know, people going people, so.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing is that, you know, obviously, as people of African ancestry across the diaspora, like, we've been Europeanized. So, you know, like, like, there's a lot of things that I still fuck up all the time. Like, Adam's calendar, it's not supposed to be called Adam's calendar. Like, to address it as Adam's calendar, extremely disrespectful. But that's really the only term that I know how to say because, you know, I'm approaching it from a Europeanized mind. But like, the constant desire to pursue making sure that we get it right is I definitely think what the ancestors is going in the right direction towards what the ancestors want us to do.
I've had this conversation with many African people from the African continent. I've heard Ubuntu before. I've heard someone pronounce it that way. But I've also had this conversation with Africans that said it just the way I just said it. So, you know, I
mean, it's all right.
feel like, yeah, like I don't feel like it was that big of a deal. But, Zula, Zidula, give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Oh, this Shaka.
Oh, what up, Shaka?
Oh. Hey.
Peace, brother.
Peace. But for those who knew, I'm Shaka Sankofa, or you can call me Jijula. I'm 21 years old now.
Okay.
And my pronouns are he and him, and I'm black and I'm back.
Absolutely.
Are all black people African? I mean, that's common sense. I mean, that's like asking, is a tiger orange? Or where do lions live? Or what sound a dog make? You know what I'm saying? Are interracial relationships hostile? Oh, hell yeah, for sure. Like, that's recessive depressive. So I don't understand, bro. Like, I don't see how you could just lay down with a beast. I'm just being honest. But and then we know what happened when we see our sisters and brothers who want to sleep with them. You know what I'm saying? We got the countless cases. I don't understand how you can lay down with somebody who has cheated you, who has made it known that they still think you less than a human being when they can't even act human. You know what I'm saying? Then when you call them out for how they act, I'm gonna do that on the next topic. But yes, all interracial relationships are hostile. If you sleep with a YT Karen, Susie, or Doug or Merv or any of them boys, or Tobacco Tune, Bit Bob, and down there in old dirty Mississippi. Now insult to my folk, my black sisters and brothers in Mississippi, talking about the white tea food. But that, yeah, you can't say you pro black, you sleep in white tea. So are you pro black or anti racist? I mean, me personally, deep down, I don't think they can be anti racist. And you know for sure they can't be pro black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We They ain't our allies. They prove they never want to be our allies. Don't get it wrong. We know what happened in World War II. Even the German soldiers could sit with the US soldiers. They let it know that they low down. Separation is the best and only solution. I don't want a contract from you. I don't want no salary from you. I want my own flag, my own laws, black liberation for everybody. I don't want it. They time to be up, and the sun need to do what it need to do before they push me to do what I need to do.
I heard that. The sun need to do what it needs to do. How you gonna rush the sun? You funny.
Go ahead and do what you need to do.
All right, y'all. Just comments. All right. Hopefully, it'll stop doing that with the comments, mods. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Appreciate you, brother Shaka.
Yeah.
Kamikaze, give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Yes, I'm 40 years old, almost. The pronouns thing, I'm a man, he, right? English is not my mother tongue, so I'm sorry. Okay, so, yeah,
What's your race?
I'm super black, crunchy
Okay,
black.
talk
Like,
to us.
see, I was born in the Amazon. For generations, we've been in the Amazon, and our history books taught us that that the Dutch actually brought us from either Ghana, Nigeria, or South Africa, you know, and we've we've been in the Amazon for many generations. But let me get to the point: are all black people African? Right? To me, I would say yes, right? Even if it's not true, because I do acknowledge that these Americans that claim that they're the real Native Americans, there's a possibility that they're right? But all I see is that they're spitting in the face of these people that think or believe that they're the real ones, the Indians that we know, from the cowboys versus the Indians. These people, we spit in their face if we claim, you know, let me, black people, we're super lost. Like, the first thing I hated when I was young is that we praise white Jesus. Like, I was super young when I saw everybody, like black people praising a white picture. I didn't like it. And then I see we become Muslims. I didn't like it. We become everything. Like, we become the first, like, they say that we're the real Hebrew Israelites. Now they say that we're the real Native Americans. What am I supposed to believe? Let me land there, right?
Yeah.
So are interracial relationships hostile, right? So so I messed up, right, in my life, right? Because I grew up in Europe, like South America and Europe, right? So my kids were like, some of my kids are half white, right? And Dr. Umar Johnson, he he explained it to me correctly what I did wrong, you know? So I admit that I did do wrong, but at the same time, did I really, Because I was young, I didn't, like, I have no hate in my soul. These people have hate, But let me land and say, yes, it is messed up. Are you pro-black or anti-racist? I myself would be anti-racist. Pro-black, I don't know. I'm more pro-human, but me personally, I felt hatred from Hindus, Yafas, from every race, man. So, so I don't know what's going on with us, but I know that we're lost as a people.
Then why you not help trying to get us found?
Because it's impossible, man. Because there's a certain group of people that don't want us to unite. You understand? There's people that benefit from our disunity.
And so that's why you think it's impossible?
No, because when I look at everything and all the segregation that we do to ourselves, it seems impossible, you know?
Well, that's a interesting way to look at it. But I would also say, um, what do you think you're going to do to end racism?
Cause you know,
Racism is never gonna end.
cause you
Sorry.
think you're pro-human.
Yeah, like me myself, I know that the world isn't like that, but I know that I'm like this, and I know that a lot of black people are like this. We're so super friendly, we chill with all these races, but vice versa, they don't. Do you disagree with this?
I think that xenophilia was the like Achilles foot of Africa, and it led to African colonization because we did come from a peaceful place, even though Europeans wasn't peaceful, and we still will sit here when we are in crisis and talk about how we need to save the entire planet instead of just save ourselves. That's the problem. Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen said black people sometimes lack the selfishness for survival, the selfishness necessary for survival. And we're in a time right now just with worldwide black oppression still going on. It's like no one told the Jewish people during World War II that they would have to save everybody else before they could do anything for themselves. No one told any other group that they would have to save anyone but themselves when they were the ones at the brunt of oppression. But for some reason, black people are expected to be these humanitarians, but I don't see a point because even if you were an anti-racist, those that create racism ain't going to listen to you tell them why they shouldn't do it. So
Right, yeah.
your powers are limited to benefit their society by solving one of their biggest problems. Why not come and make black solutions with black people and build here where you have actually more of a standing in the community that will actually work with you.
Yeah. Only white people can end racism. It's their problem. It's not our problem.
So I agree with that one. Yeah, I agree with that one.
All right.
Yeah. That's why we.
But one question real fast for you guys. What
Yeah.
are you guys? Are you guys the real Native Americans, or are you?
Oh
What is your?
Lord,
Man, you better
no.
stop.
No, because I actually came off a life, right? I came off a huge life, and I got my head cut off, by these guys that believe that they're the real Native Americans,
Oh
you
my
know,
goodness. You know what that
and
is? You know where that comes from?
trauma.
Yeah, trauma. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. If you want to look her up, she's the author of the ISIS Papers. She gives a lecture where she says that the reason a lot of African Americans believe they're Native Americans is because their mother was R-worded, by a white T man, and it was embarrassing for them to tell their children that the reason their hair was straighter was because Massa did it. You know what I'm saying? And also, if the mistress found out, both the child and the mother would be in danger. So they would tell the children that they had a little Native American in them to explain. So yeah, they would rather say that mom, had a romantic affair with a Native American man than to say that Massa, did something. And the reason you're seeing it more now is because it's part of the right wing, the people that they try to get us to vote for Trump, but instead they now put out content constantly telling African Americans not to have an allegiance towards Africa, our continent that's being robbed currently, by
Exactly,
the way.
exactly.
So now they're telling us to have an allegiance to our plantation. So yeah, that's
Exactly, man. Because why aren't, like, I've been asking myself for 15 years, why aren't the European Americans called European Americans? I never hear you guys call them European Americans. This frustrates me for 15 years now. What's going
yeah.
on?
No, they're
Why
just
are you guys?
American. Yeah,
They're Europeans to me. Like to me, they're all
Yeah.
Europeans. I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
See, the thing is that when you create the constructs of YT supremacy and the whole false ideology and propaganda associated with YT superiority, you in effect kind of get rid of your own cultural roots as a YT person because you're now embracing this concept of YT superiority. But at the same time, it's like, all right, you're giving up your own European kind of like cultural identity, but in place of YT so-called supremacy, but YT so-called supremacy is solely dependent on sucking and stealing all the culture from other people groups that YT supremacist constructs are oppressing. So it's like, all right, you're basing your entire so-called identity off of the theft, unaliving, and mass theft. Well, yeah, mass oppression of people of African ancestry. So it's like, it's quite literally them embracing a sense of a sense of identity that's just based on solely just their brutality and their barbarism. And for them, that's perfectly fine because their culture is based off of that. That's literally them. But obviously, yeah. Now that we're fast forwarding to today and everything, it's all still the exact same construct. So it's just, yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of it. A lot of people are too afraid to kind of say the quiet part out loud, but well, obviously you have to be cautious with TikTok and in consideration and stuff. But yeah, that's the reality of it.
So in the eyes of all other races, right, guys? Do they see us all as Africans?
You mean all other races?
Yeah, like the
Like,
Chinese, the Asians, the Hindu. Would they? Because me myself, my personal experience when I traveled to Europe, like even people in Turkey, like in the middle of Turkey, the smallest towns, they look at me and say, "Hey, Africa, Africa," but I never set foot in Africa before. Like even here in
yeah,
the
but
Netherlands,
that's
in
that's
Germany, they all call me African.
that's what colonized. That's because you are African. But that's what colonizers. Um, that's the thing about calling the European Americans American, because they're not even American. They're they're European settlers in America, but a people's name should always derive, and it always does derive outside of racism. Um, it relates to a land history and culture. So whatever is going on, they have a shared land history, culture. They're a people. That's how you name their people. That's how you name someone. And then colonization started happening, and these white men would have babies on different continents and try to claim that land as theirs. And that's because they were going outside of their land to all these other places and setting up, settlements. So they see themselves as native to the land once they have children there. That's how they identify based on land. But going back thousands of years, even in Africa, a people's name came from, either a lineage. Like if you want to go back to like the Bible's the best example I got, like the tribe of Israel, or a culture, like being Arab, different ethnicities. But yeah, to say that where you're born is who you are is European. That's their idea of colonization. So you're an African because 1,000 years ago your people would be in Africa, or if even if
Yeah,
it's longer, they would be in Africa.
yeah, that's what I believe too. But a lot of these black Americans, but not a lot of them. Because I wonder how big is this group that believe that they're the real natives? They have to be a small group, right?
They're a small group. They just really loud on TikTok.
Okay.
And
That
and other black people don't know nothing about history, who we are, and they're susceptible and impressionable to this type of stuff.
yeah, but can we blame them with all these paths that are laid out before us? And haven't you seen that we as brown-skinned people, that we on general become everything, and they on general stay with their main, like Muslims stay, like the Arabs stay Muslim. You don't see the majority just becoming Christian all of a sudden, right?
Yeah,
The Asians have the same thing, so
right. I mean,
they're
the
all
funny thing is
benefiting.
they're using art, like different documents that would call Native Americans NEGRO. Like they would call them black, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
the NEGRO word, but black, right? So they would call the Native Americans that because they thought they were in Europe and they thought if they went south, they would find blacker and blacker people, like darker skinned people. So they thought where they were, it was cold, and then the further you go south, the darker and hotter it gets. You know what I'm saying? And when they got to America, they thought that they were going to run into us. And then they looked and they
Ah.
looked, and they didn't find us. And so the only way of rationalizing it was that us black people are cursed by Canaan. So that's the reason we came out like that. But when they went south in America, they didn't find us. And so after that, after they learned that, then they start to call them a different they start to call them Indians. And so that's the thing. Like they keep going back and say, this is proof that Africans were here. It's like, no, this is proof that white folks was confused when they first got to this continent.
Yeah, and you listening to white people that don't know the land, like don't know the people.
Right.
That's the thing, too.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
No, that's awesome. Thank you guys, man. Thanks you guys for having me up. I'm
All
gonna
right.
follow you and see you next time.
Yes, sir.
I'll
All
be
right.
listening.
All right. One love.
Yeah, I always get taken aback by the first thing that you'll hear from the Pretendian community is don't trust the YT sources, and then they pull up like 1700s YT sources to try to prove
Yeah,
their
that's hilarious. Don't trust YT sources. But look, I got my native paperwork, and I got the judge stamped this one and notary, and like.
It's so strong. It's so
What do you mean? You notarized, so you think that notaries existed in 1100 in North America? Like you think that was a thing?
It's
No.
They
crazy.
notarize what?
Nah, they got like YouTube videos where black men mostly are going to different government offices and declaring themselves as Native American, and they don't need proof. So it's just like a way to get like legally identified as Native American, but then they'll turn around and tell you not to trust white sources. But then they'll also say they're not black because a white source told them that black is evil or not a true citizen of the Black Laws Dictionary. Like it's like you're using white sources to make your argument. So you know.
Yeah.
Oh, my people. It just made me come. Oh my God.
Yeah, they confused. But that's what Sankofapedia is for, y'all. We're building Sankofapedia, a black free online encyclopedia built from an Afrocentric perspective. Check it out. Check it out. The link is in my bio if you want to join us. Our nonprofit, send $1, maybe 10. We got the Discord with over 850 Pan-Africans. We have 850 Pan-Africans working. But yeah, we're building an Afrocentric online resource for y'all to get not just Black history, but world history from an African perspective. World history, the history of the whole world, as if your ancestors are telling it to you. So that's what Sankopedia is. All of these are little dots that we have for these are articles, and the connections between the dots will show you how each person is connected to another person. So you can see like who their relatives are. You'll be able to see what other movements, who they knew. You know, maybe they know some celebrities, and it kind of shows us all as one family, and it shows our ancestors. This is a feature on the website, so it's cooler than It's cooler than Wikipedia. We're actually going to have a chart that shows you how people are connected, so you can find other people. So we need your donations. You can donate to $ Bring Down Babylon. It's tax deductible. We're a 501c3. So yeah, that's what we're building. Me, my wife, D, and Timothy. We all in there working.
Tia and Stella.
Oh, Stella's in here. Yeah, Stella's in here. Yup. I see her.
I think I saw
Timothy,
Tia.
you talk too much. Hush, be quiet. Hello and welcome in. We need your dollars. We need your donations. We need you to participate, y'all. It's time for you to tune in, support, and make sure that Black lives really do matter. It's time for you to show up and show out. $1, $2, $10, $10,000. We need your help. And you guys, it's time for us to build Black, be Black, with Black, for Black people. If you got the time, go ahead and donate to be1initiative.org, where you can learn to be great. We're building and we need your help. Are you here? Are you tuned in and you're turned up? Are you plugged in? I need y'all to make sure that everyone in the room today sends $1.50 to Bring Down Babylon. It's right at the top. Point it up, Brother Legend. Point at the top. Point at the top. The Cash App is right there, as well as you can subscribe at be1initiative.org. Listen, there's options and there's ways. If you don't have the time, you at least have $1. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Send us some money. No, I'm playing. But donate, you guys. If you want something that's actually going to be reliable, that your children and your children's children can look for, that is we heard of his story. This is the Black story. It's time for us to tell our truths and our versions of our history. So guess what? Educate, elevate, celebrate, and make sure that you donate to Bringing Down Babylon. All right, y'all. I'm going to shut up because Timothy won't talk, and y'all know he goes a mile a minute.
Hey. Appreciate you, D. Asphalt, can you give us your age, race, and pronouns?
24. He, him.
All right, your race?
Mixed.
That's not a race.
Well, then I don't know what my race is. Then I'm mixed with white and black. How else? Like, I don't know what else. I don't know what to call that. I've never called it anything else.
That's asphalt. Just
nah. He's going to be a problem, but we're not doing that.
Yeah, there is no such thing as biracial is not a race, mixed is not a race. Like, no, plus at the same time, African genes are dominant. Like, stop the cap. Be Black.
Timothy, just because you're half a Kennedy and you didn't want him to stand in his Nebra-ness, this is your fault. This is you attracting these Nebras.
Oh hell, nah. I was not gonna let his over 2% Neanderthal self start screaming over the pen. Nah.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I'm not even risking it no more.
You was ready. He was.
Y'all ain't heard about the half a Kennedy.
What's that?
What'd you say?
Y'all need to let them stand in their half a Kennedy.
They're African, right? African Americans. Yeah.
That's funny.
She said I'm half offended in the comments. Yeah, y'all are funny. And shout out to Tia. We didn't know you was in here, Tia. D forgot you. I was like, man. D forgot you, man.
That's what I was trying to bring up, but D was just like, nah, you be long-winded, and then hashed me out.
You said Tia and Miss Stella. You didn't hear me say Tia? I said Tia and Miss Stella.
Don't try to cover it up now.
back. Play the audio back. You'll hear it.
She's serious. Arithmetic, give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Your wife looked like she is balding. Her head is very ashy.
Alright.
No, let him keep talking. Oh my God. These people are crazy.
That was
crazy.
That was a classic example of what we call now an overseer moment. You see what I'm saying? That's a crazy example of why we say black love is revolutionary. Because
like you should.
They don't want us to come together, y'all. Like that's really an agenda. Like that goes back hundreds of years.
Why are they so mad?
That is nothing new. Yeah, you know. That was some
That's why we gotta come together, y'all. That's the most basic way to be pro-black.
Yeah, I mean it's a commitment to your community, of course, in a relationship, but they are only afraid of what they deem a threat, and the reason they deem it a threat is because black love is the beginning of black power, and I can't imagine, like, you know what I mean? You could scroll and see a white tea couple. Can you imagine going on stage and, like, even if they would straight up make America great again, like, whatever it was, like, I would never think to go up there and say something like that to a woman. Yeah. Like, that's kind of
because we
sus.
Just plain old human and got so.
But yeah,
we ain't like these.
That's wild.
I'm sorry, never mind.
One thing, y'all bite, I bite back. I don't care. I'll be ready to fight. Baby, give me a minute. If my signal wasn't bad, I swear.
My earrings off.
I'm here to buy.
It ain't no point. What up, Tia?
Hey, Tia.
Mrs. Legend. D, you gotta bring the duck back. Bring the duck back for spring. The duck with the pew pew. That you
the duck with the pew pew. Okay.
Because every time you say you be ready to fight, I just think of like a tyke. Like, we probably the same height though. So.
Don't know the clubhouse, D. I got time to do when dudes used to come there,
we used to be banging on clubhouse.
So I had this duck that had 2 pew pews in his hand.
What?
Like a little chick. And that was her profile pic.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I want all the smoke.
When that duck was up, you knew she meant business. She's ready to fight.
Cause people try you. They be trying.
Yeah, nah, I ignore them because somebody came up here and said I was Chinese one time. Like, he was like, you Chinese.
Oh, wait a minute. Now that I'm up here. Brother Legend.
What happened?
You got to say about Brother Kendrick. I was reading the lyrics. I'm going to have this song in rotation for like
we've been listening to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he came for that boy neck.
I love him. And it was grown, like it was on some grown man. It wasn't petty. It was grown men talking.
Oh, it's such a delicious read. He read Aubrey for Phil, okay? Like, oh, I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Did you see the part where he started rapping like J. Cole?
No, I haven't listened to the whole thing.
It's at like 1 minute. At like 1 minute, he switches into the same flow J. Cole used on First Person Shooter.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
it's so many like messages throughout of it, like between the lyrics, like the length, the flow, like it's masterful. This is a modern ether. Like I cannot. This excites me so much. When he said he don't know the difference between him and Sexy Red, it's too bad. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was great. Cause I was watching that video like Drake. Really? Like,
The way
we
he
know what
shit
you
to the
doing.
side.
He using black culture, hip hop. He just uses it.
Yeah, and I did cringe in that last song when he said the N-word. I did. I was like, and remember we was talking about it when he said Metro make some drums, you know, and when he said that, it was kind of like, I don't know, that just didn't feel right in my soul. But now let's put our Pan-African helmets on, because this is going to kill the vibe. This kills the vibe. What I'm about to say is going to kill the vibe. So I'm gonna tell you something.
Oh Lord,
there's no going back after this, y'all. Y'all said y'all was the conscious community, right? All right, so we about to look at this through a conscious lens, right? Let's look at Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef through a conscious lens. Here we go. We're putting it on here. You put your hat on. Make sure. All right. Here we go. So, through the eyes of Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., they shouldn't be arguing. They shouldn't be fighting, because none of them have smoke for the white CEOs of the white-owned labels that they're both giving money to off of this beef. We ain't watching nothing different than a Mandingo fight. If you want to think about it, you're watching two black men attack each other for white dollars. What's his name? Frederick Douglass said during his day he saw two slaves box each other over which one had the better master. And that's how both of them sound, because they both pay the same man. All of their money that y'all are listening to it over and over again, and all that money goes up to a label owned by one man. All of them, both of them, they all paying the same man. Of course, it's a white T man, Lucian Grange. Y'all look him up. He's a small hat man. And Jimmy Iovine, who also works with Kendrick Lamar. So these are the white people getting paid off of this beef as they reeled the black audience back in. Last year was the first year hip hop took a nosedive. 2023, 50 years of hip hop. Hip hop finally took a nosedive and started to lose its grip on the music market. And 2024 first quarter, since the rap beef started and since Kanye dropped his thing, with all of that together, this has been the best first quarter hip hop has had since 2022. So hip hop is actually rebounding. That white T man at the top is actually getting richer through this beef. So
that's perspective.
But we can take it back off and go back to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Because,
I mean, we ain't never going back to sleep, but I can still appreciate a good bar.
What you say?
We can appreciate a good bar.
I ain't gonna go back to sleep, but like I can still appreciate a good bar. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. You know, like we can still,
and it's well deserved. Well deserved.
Absolutely, it's our culture. But, you know, how it's being spun around is kind of wild, because it's like, why don't you two black men, with all that influence you have, speak to what's really going on between y'all and these labels and really start to hold white people accountable for how y'all are making, y'all basically tap dancers. Like, y'all are tap dancing for him. So it's just kind of wild, you know, like, why the two of y'all can't? I want to hear a Lucian Grange diss record. I want to hear this record dissing the CEOs. And it better be
out
filthy.
Out in them.
I want to hear about their baby mothers. I want to hear about every time they said the N-word in front of you, because I know they do. I saw y'all at that billionaires party up in the Hamptons with Jay-Z and them, and Meek Mill jumping like this on the tennis court because he lost a bet. Getting hugged from behind by that white man. I forgot his name, that billionaire. But anyway, I seen all that. There's video footage of rappers acting rappery. Very corny. So
there's only these celebrities can only go but so pro black. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the farthest Kendrick can go. trying to be a rapper under some white man's company. You know what I'm saying? That's the farthest he can go.
I want to hear his diss record against Taylor Swift. I want to hear his Taylor Swift diss record, because
most definitely
Taylor Swift was called by the National Enquirer, a right-wing, yeehaw newspaper. It was called. They called Taylor Swift their Aryan princess. Aryan, as in where they do it from the heart, right? Yeah, Aryan, right?
Oh,
she was asked to denounce it. She was asked to denounce it.
And she did
she
not.
never did. She was silent.
She did not.
She didn't say a word because she knows that's her real audience. And Kendrick got a song with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't she say she made some kind of statement through a song or something? I'm not 100% sure, because after I heard that she said it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not listening to that shit. She said that she wanted to go back to the 1830s, but without all the racists or some crap. And we're all just looking at her like, like you do.
I saw a video about that, but I thought, there was some guy just making it up.
I don't know. I mean, by how many responses that I seen from that, I think she actually said that, and I'm thinking like, all right, if you're trying to go back to the, the 1830s, around the time when Nat Turner did what he did, I'm cool with that. You down? Like,
but like, as rich as she is, y'all don't think it's interesting that she would say something like that? As rich as she is, and you want to go back to a time where your demographic was disenfranchised, like even though y'all had certain protections, but you were still disenfranchised. Why you want to roll the clock back?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And then her boyfriend, I don't know if it's a boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
He said something crazy about Ice Spice. I forgot what it was though. It was something anti-black. I forgot what it was though.
But why with her?
What?
You said Kendrick has a song with her?
You ain't know that?
No, I don't be paying attention.
That's what Drop Is Giving 50 was about.
Yeah.
You said what?
That's what Drake's diss was saying.
Oh, see, I don't know the whole background about why they beefing. But I don't really pay attention to modern rap until things like this happen.
We were just talking about this. Because, I was in the music industry. I know a lot of other stuff that I'll be explaining to her that she ain't really catch. Because I know music, but I also have somewhat of an understanding of what's going on, like, behind social. Yeah. So, but we were talking about how you can find podcasts that is basically white boys breaking down hip hop bars and saying like, look how this rhyme scheme goes, and this is what he really meant. And, this is homage to Tupac, and this is like, and they do this for like almost every song, like every song that has a video, pretty much, and they just break everything down. And these are white-owned companies putting out these videos, these YouTube videos. Then you got podcasts like No Jumper, you got Black TV, and how they're just so. There's another one, Nardwar. I don't know if you heard of him, but he does interviews where he finds he does a lot of background research on the artist, and then he surprises them. Like with Drake, he was like pulling out that Drake's uncle invented slap bass guitar. Yeah, I forgot. I think he played for. Did he play for James Brown or something? I don't know. I might be getting confused with another bassist. No, I'm getting confused with the other bassist. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's all these geeky white boys that like overanalyze hip hop, and it feels like they just want to know and be able to decode our message. Because in the songs, the like, especially when it's like a drill song, they're speaking in like code that you have to know what they're talking about. But they're breaking this down and trying to give away the secrets because their overseer energy won't let us have a way of talking. Like anything to ourselves. Like he needs to like watch over it. We were still talking about that earlier.
Not to mention the college courses. It's like more and more of these colleges are having like official hip hop history classes and stuff.
Like that.
Hip hop or something.
Yeah.
Lord.
You ever
That's
seen
what I remember very vividly growing up. Like there's this dude, and in all honesty, he I don't think that he was aware of what he was doing with that overanalyzing crap, but he was, white dude growing up, predominantly black community. But I just remember him being the only one of us that could quote word for word, bar for bar, even the influx in the rappers' voices, every single song
Yeah.
that like came out. Like he had like thousands of like songs that he would just download to his old like iPod, and he would just be listening to it, and we would be like, hey, like it was just. I always wondered why that was a thing, but now I know. Like that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a hypothesis I came up with. Me and her were just talking about it. I know. I'm trying to fix it. Bye, Auntie SJ. I'm trying to send a message, but yeah, that's something me and her was talking about, because it's like, why is there so many white boys on YouTube that know every bar of a Wu-Tang song? Know, like, they're just all up in, and they're more yeah, like they know it more than we do. Like, we know the song and we know the vibe that it's set, but we don't know the the intricate, what sneakers he wore to the studio that day. Like, they know all of that. And it's like, why are they analyzing so much? And then you realize these are the children of overseers. So they really just try, like, especially when it's drill music, that's when it gets wild, because drill music and like UK hip hop, they speak in a certain like code. Like, you gotta know. I be having to look up or ask somebody what they be talking about sometimes, but yeah, they be breaking all that stuff down. Yeah, drill is wild. Drill is it's
Yeah.
funny. UK drill is funny to me, but it's kind of Caribbean. But it's funny because y'all got to do this in the videos. This is all they can do. They can't really do nothing.
They
Yeah.
get.
I think they call yeah, like they call it rusties or something like that is like the term they give to it. Like because it's like they're not allowed to have actual pew pew, so they use rusties, which is like old versions of I'm like, damn, like that's like, shit. That's crazy. But yeah,
That's uncomfortable. So we're constantly being watched, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
What you all are saying. They're just like, it hasn't ended yet. Like, we're still in a cage being watched. Our every move.
And they don't want the men to love a black woman, because then now we're gonna feel obligated to protect her. And they don't want that, because when a man will do anything to protect his wife, it's going to make it hard for you to subjugate that family, those people. So that's why that guy that came up here earlier talking about my wife, and just saying, like, Yankee stuff. That's his ancestors' energy, because they want to make sure that we're divided. Like, they don't want to see black men and women get along.
Trying to weaken us, trying to weaken our mind, trying to stop the support we have for one another.
And that's why they took away our love songs, man. If you notice that too, about the music industry.
Oh, I hate it. Like, everything is just about the money now. And they'll choose the weirdest person probably off the street to make music for us now. I mean, that's just how I feel. I'm sorry. Like, some of the music now is just like, my little cousin could have wrote that song.
But it's like a lot of the songs will be about a breakup.
Yeah, like, SZA. I like
not
some
even
of
just
it,
SZA,
but it's all of them.
What's her name? Chloe just got a song where she's breaking up with some dude. He got a trail out in the desert.
She a disappointment. she's a disappointment.
Well, that's Hollywood, but
it is what it is. And I feel like the gap is getting bigger. Like, not only like the wealth gap, but like the cultural gap. Like, they are not tapped in with the people. They're not tapped in with us. They're just doing what they're told and trying to get money, I guess. And they're just
send me an alt R&B song that's about love. Send me one alt R&B song that's about love, and you can change my mind, Jelly Bean.
Oh, you reading
Send me
it?
one, because she said alt R&B is going in right now. I need to hear it. Send me a love song. Do not send me a sex song. I'm not saying sex can't be in the song, but show me a song by a black artist where we are singing about love.
You mean
with another black person? Yes, recently.
A more recent one. There may be some that exist.
No, I'm not saying they don't. Send me.
Are they being pushed? Yeah. They're not.
They're not. Yeah.
They're not being pushed like that. Like, you gotta search for a nice, modest song.
I go back. Okay. I go to Curtis Mayfield. You know what I'm saying?
God.
I go back. When I go back, I'm good.
Let me tell you, I feel like we old now because we like our parents now because we just like, oh, it just ain't the same. These kids now, that's how we sound now. Cause it's just
ain't no lies told. Cause when you think about like some of the really popular songs when you were like a child, but like old enough to remember the song, but young enough to not know what the song actually meant. And it's kind of like going back and watching like a show like Martin or Girlfriends now that you're in your 30s and you like, this hit different because you relate to it as an adult. And you go back and you hear some of them songs and you like, what the hell was I doing listening to this? But like in your child brain, it sounds like some normal stuff, kind of like Shrek. Shrek to adults is different than Shrek to kids. But they don't make music like that no more. It's just like all out there, like straight. There's no like cover to it. And like back in the day, they had a finesse. Like I feel like all the genres are like that. Like even in Crime Room, sometimes when he plays some older music that I grew up on because my parents are older. And I'm like, I'm listening to these songs, and I'm like, really across genres, people had a level of finesse to the music to where you didn't really know what they were talking about unless you knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
But it sounded innocent. It sounded sweet.
Yeah. Nah, that's facts. Yeah. So I'm starving for a love song. So if y'all know some new love songs, then DM it to me. A new song of black love. Black person singing about another black person. Don't send me nothing where he's talking about she's 5'6" and light skin or something. You know, I tried to rhyme there. That don't rhyme. But you know what I'm saying? Like some I love him light skin. Oh, caramel. Like don't send me none of that. Send me just something where it's a true love song, right? Like,
and I think that's the other reason why we kind of appreciate Kendrick Lamar's diss, because he put time and work and thought into it, and a lot of the music now doesn't have time, thought, like heart in it no more.
Yeah, what I like about Kendrick's rapping is it's like the African tradition of putting on like doing the ceremonies and putting on a mask and like becoming the ancestor, becoming the energy that was meant to embody. Like he kind of morphs into different characters. That's an African tradition though. Like even when he did it with his face in that one video, he was doing this for a minute. Like he does it like he's channeling people. Like he keeps it real African what he does.
That's why I said he can only get so pro-black.
Oh yeah, no, he's still working for the white man.
He do it, but at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, but that's why the culture likes him.
Yeah, that's why we like him.
Yeah, the culture, he got the culture more than Drake do. But Drake had us in a chokehold for a minute because he had sisters. He had the women. He had sisters for a minute.
Yeah, he used to cry a lot. Well, cry. I'm making fun of him. But he used to do little bit lover boy type of music when he first came out. And that's what makes me feel a little... I had a moment where I felt bad for Drake because if y'all remember in the beginning of his career, he seemed a little sad. And he took women a little bit more seriously. He really wanted to date them. He got that song with Trey Songz, I Just Want to Be Successful. And so just looking at that, I'm just noticing like Drake sold his soul, he got caught up, and now he a Looney Tune. He's like a cartoon, he's a character now. And you saw the beginning in him now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They got caught up for real.
He was like headed down the right path.
You can tell he didn't want that life, but I don't know what happened, and now he's about that life.
I know what happened. Arrested Development.
Severe Arrested Development.
Yeah, 2012 Drake was, I remember when he came out with his albums during that time, and it was more like you could feel more in the songs, and it just felt like it was coming from more of like a, hey, I actually give a damn kind of place. But then, yeah, but he's been anti-black from the beginning. He still will forever be a black man, but his choice back when he was in I'm not sure if anybody knows, but there's like this there's a picture of him in blackface. Yeah, from years back ago. But he was like trying to say, oh, it was a theater production, and like it was trying to show the disparities and the representation of black people in theater. And I'm just like, bro, you put yourself in full blackface with a big ass smile, red lipstick and everything. Like, no, like you, no.
That's wild.
That's lost. He was
like, he's been anti-black from the very beginning.
Your white mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Definitely, he not he not standing with us, but I'll give him two things: Fall for Your Type, and I'll give him his verse on not his verse on Fall for Your Type, and I'll give him Better Find Your Lovin'. That song is hard. Those two, I'll give him those. I really like those songs. Jamie Foxx had an era too, though, but Drake killed those two verses as far as like love songs go. The Take Care era of Drake was but even the Scorpion era of Drake, I'll give him that, at least for me personally. But it's a lot of like like Don Toliver make love music, like that's Kali Uchis. He's like Kali Uchis is pregnant with his baby right now, and he make a lot of love songs about her.
No, he don't.
Don Toliver?
You said that's Kali Uchis not black. She black?
I don't think she black.
No, she not black, so that ain't black love songs.
Okay. But they are love songs.
But see, that's what I'm saying though. Black love songs. Like Taylor Swift make love songs. Taylor Swift make all kind of love songs. Taylor Swift also don't gotta bounce her ass all over the place. Taylor Swift giving Beyonce a run for her money. Actually, Taylor Swift did 2 million in 1 week. 2 million record sales in 1 week. She whooping Beyonce's ass, and she ain't even got to show none. Ain't that crazy?
How come our women don't realize
No.
that?
It don't matter if they realize it or not.
That Taylor Swift is being Beyonce?
Hold on. It don't matter if they realize it or not. The ones that don't realize it are the ones that get the job, and that's the ones that you're going to see.
Yeah,
the ones that are
happens.
willing to shake their ass in front of their children. Her daughters be in the audience. Mama's Yams is on stage for the whole world to see right now. Like, for money. Like, if this was just something Mama did for free, she was doing that, popping it all over the place. That's a different story. She's teaching her daughters, you need that when you need that money and that validation, this is how you get it.
Who, Beyonce?
Yeah, all of them. Anyone that's doing that, any, and I'm not just singling out the women, the brothers do it too. It's just for us, we're playing into a different stereotype, a different version of blackness that they would prefer to see. So at the end of the day, when I look at all this, and then you look at the white audiences, and look what they have to do to be famous, right? Nothing but be mediocre. Just be mediocre. They don't gotta do nothing entertaining. There's nothing interesting about Taylor Swift. She looked like she would work at Target. Like if she would just be the manager walking around with a red vest on at Target, you know what I'm saying, in front of the Starbucks. You know, with her little walkie-talkie. She looks regular. Like she's regular.
Like some white boys
her voice is regular.
Or something.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's because They want to see you destroy yourselves. They want to see black people act a fool. They want to see us do things and shake ass and do things that they don't want to see done in there. Not us. No.
I don't be
We
thinking
don't.
that Beyonce is shaking her
We're
ass
not going to
though.
go back and forth with each other and have Kendrick talking about bloodying someone's family, and we're not going to go back and forth with each other. We'll watch you do that all day. We'll put two of y'all in the ring and we'll make money off the fight. We'll put y'all on the football field. We like it when y'all go at each other, but we not going to do that.
Wait, don't Victoria Monet got love songs?
Now you know I don't listen to no Victoria Monet.
I gotta go back and check because I watched one of the videos. So from what I hear, how her and the husband met was on a video. Like, yeah, they married with a daughter.
I didn't know
Victoria Monet's married?
I know
she has a black husband. He's a personal trainer. He's on this app. Like, he's a model and trainer, I think. Beautiful couple. And he's always posting content of him taking care of the baby. She's like maybe 2, like Hazel or whatever.
That's really all he does? Like, does he do other things?
He's a personal trainer, and he models like fitness models, I think. I don't know a ton about him, but I see him on my feed a lot. That's why I know some of this. And then some friends of mine who are fans of hers, I found out that they met on like a video shoot. I don't know if like somebody dropped last minute or they had a last minute need to fill a role, and he was the person. And that's one of her music videos obviously depicts this. But when you're watching a video, you would never know that they didn't know each other and they just met. But I watched the video and it's a beautifully like shot video and like the storyline to it and everything. And the song, don't ask me what it is. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a fan, although I enjoy her music, but I gotta go back and find out what the name of that song is. But I got all the like the love from that. Like she gives me like 90s kind of artist, if that makes sense.
Kind of bringing it back.
No, that's good. Yeah.
All right, so I got 2 for y'all. What about Miguel and what about Alicia Keys? We hate on Alicia Keys, but I did listen to her last album, and it was pretty good. It was only one woman husband she stole. She not a serial husband stealer.
She ain't even got no voice no more. She lost her voice.
But the pen is still pretty good. Yeah. The pen is still too good. It's still pretty good. But Miguel,
white mother, right?
Alicia Keys got a white mom?
Yeah, she got a white mother.
Y'all, you know what? I gotta keep it consistent. All right.
Oh yeah, she don't believe people with white moms are black, right?
I view them as comma people.
I don't know what that means. But I knew she had some
So I gotta keep it consistent. But I did listen to Alicia Keys' last album, and even though she can't sing no more, she did a good job of using enough instruments to distract me from that. I'll give her that.
You know what? My brother always say that she's always good for one stellar song, and I have to agree. For me, she has like one standout song, and the rest of it.
And what song is that?
No, like per album. I mean,
okay.
She has like one song that is really like great, and then the rest of them just be like, eh.
The songs that she got famous for, she wrote when she was like young. Like she had a piano in her house growing up, so she had already like worked on that for years, and I think she had more in her, but I think that I think that was the magic.
But we gotta get whatever album "Try Sleeping with a Broken Heart" is on. We just gotta let her. We gotta let her have that one because she did that little one thing.
She put box braids and cornrows in her hair. She was all Afrocentric. She was looking 10. You know what I'm saying? For when she first came out, she was all soul sister. This you know what I'm saying? That song "Unbreakable." She bit off another soul song. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, like, she was very soulful. You know, all those runs that she would do, and then all of a sudden she's not on the piano no more. She got on spandex. You know what I'm saying? Looking like Mrs. Incredible, and then she got lighter and lighter over time. Listen, because she was tired. She was tired. Y'all wasn't doing her right by that third, fourth album. She said, man, everybody else done crossed over and got some white on this. I want some too. I can't do that from behind this piano. This don't work.
No, she tried it with Girl on Fire. But the white audience transition with Girl on Fire, it didn't work. That song, that was corny.
That damn song.
That was, and I thought no song could get cornier than No One. And then she came out with Girl on Fire. And I said, yeah, she did it. She did it.
I like that song. Just like that song and that Keisha Cole song, Love. The both of them songs get on my damn nerves.
I'm so tired of that song. But I think the UK R&B girlies are less naked than the American R&B girlies. Like the girls from the UK that do R&B, they don't be as naked as, like the artists from the UK don't be as naked as American artists.
That's because a lot of the artists in the UK got African parents that will disown their ass.
Okay, that could be okay.
Makes me think like
or Jamaican.
What Tim's you talking about? Yeah. Well, see, now the Jamaican can go either way. You either getting dancehall queen or I don't think we should be in this conversation.
Yeah, because they be poom poom warriors in that music.
Bro, that was why I wanted to touch on it.
The finest on earth.
Yo, I seen the video. Never mind.
Jesus.
What crime?
I couldn't figure out if she was looking down all the time or if her eyebrows were going slanted in her face.
Oh God.
Greetings, Mrs. Legend. Greetings.
Hey, peace, brother.
Yeah. What I wanted to say though, as it pertains to the music, I think with the technology, based upon what I observe, the technology to me it seems like it take away the knowledge from the artists. Them just get lazy. You know, them lack the knowledge now, so we don't know what happened, but even the beats, to be honest, even the musician, the beats them we used to get, them used to be more solid. You could feel more soul, even in just listening to the beats alone. Just listening to the beats alone, I would listen to beats like for hours, not even putting a song on it. Just the beats would give you a vibes, like even with the Jamaican music. So, but now you can hardly find a good beat, and also when you check the music that the younger artists them do, the whole of them in a one box. So as you just said earlier, Bro Legend, it's like them program for say what the slave master still want them to say, you know. So it's like them being enslaved by the business for say what them want them say, cause people still are try to say the right thing, but them the music they not get no highlight. Cause you have a whole heap of music where even a couple of the songs them when we play, people never hear them before. You have to dig to hear the music them with the culture and the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Them not get no attention, you know?
Yup.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did Sean Paul blackfish us or not?
So what?
Because I thought Sean Paul was black for a long time, and then when I found out that he was not, I was like, dang, I didn't really know how to feel.
Blackfish, or did people assume? Because you know how people like to assume everybody from certain places black.
I didn't know.
That's a good question. Is he blackfish? Did he blackfish or did I assume? That's a good question.
I need to know. He not black?
No.
I would not call. He's one of the people who like he got black in him, but I wouldn't necessarily refer to him as black. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's like this one dude that came up on my panel a while back ago, and he immediately tried to like claim like a 14% like, and he literally like it was the most weird thing on the planet, because like you could tell that he very clearly a lot of indigenous American DNA, a lot of European DNA. You could tell right off the bat, but the way he said it was just weird as hell. Like he was just on the platform talking about, yeah, I'm out here representing my West Side, African ancestry. I'm like, what? Your what? your what side? What'd you say? And yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's it's nah.
That's
Even hear
literally
you say that was cringy for you to just give me an example of it. So
he's mostly YT with some Chinese, and he has a black grandparent. So I would say no.
Yeah.
And I know his wife ain't black either. So
Then yeah, he
he got
definitely.
them kids.
Damn, I had no idea.
I mean, what
That's
did I
crazy.
think? Because I did listen to him a lot back in the day.
I knew his forehead was wide.
I knew he was very light.
wait, who?
Sean Paul.
Oh yeah, he had them braids. That's why I thought he was black.
He had
Them braids. This was,
braids for a really long time.
this was before we was as socially conscious as we are. Also, I was like 7, but
He sounds horrible in real life. If that makes you feel any better.
I'm never going to no Sean Paul concert, so it's okay.
Man, they be having him enter the party.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
The girl didn't mind.
His ratings is pretty low. It was when he got a hit song. That was when people really see him. He wasn't gonna get he couldn't get a break in Jamaica with that type of thing. Because
But y'all let a lot of that Vibes Cartel slip, and that's a lot of skin bleaching going on in that music. So
it's very interesting the people who couldn't really like break in the country versus like had a lot of popularity outside of it, because he was very popular in the United States, and even when he got pretty popular in the United States, like a lot of that music was old.
Yeah,
like it was very old.
Like Tina Turner in the UK. Tina Turner was way more famous in the UK than she was in America towards the 80s. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Until she came out with Disco, like Disco Inferno brought her back. She was like all in the UK for a little minute.
Wow. All right, y'all. We about to get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all for contributing. Listen, you still want to hear Sean Paul at every.
I feel like we doing Mrs. Legend childhood a little bit. She reflected like, what was I doing?
He did blackfish us. He did. It's okay.
That's crazy.
Players fuck up too. Players fuck up too, y'all.
That's crazy. Well, Jelly, it was nice converting you over to Pan-Africanism.
No, I've been Pan-African.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You ain't no Pan-African.
She ain't no Pan-African.
Diva said I'm not Pan-African, so I guess I'm not.
You this close, you just need to accept biracial people a little bit more. But
Y'all, you know what y'all need to stop doing? When there's a biracial that proves my point, y'all need to stop kicking them off the panel. Y'all know what I'm here for. Okay.
Who's proving your point?
You're
not understanding the nuance that for some people, whether they're black or not, is up to how they identify.
And so when I'm
that's
here,
something that's hard for us because we want race to be this objective biological reality that we refuse to believe it at some point comes down to the person that how they identify. It becomes personal at a certain point.
No, when they come up here with that biracial identity crisis talking points, y'all need to let them play out. So I can say,
Jelly, how you deal with it when black people got identity
That's what I'm
issues?
saying.
You
This
got
biracial
people
black
walking around, right, talking about they American Indians. Like they ain't too much different.
The Nigindians?
Yeah, like they no different than some of them same biracials you talking about. So
yeah, they are no different, because you're really going out of your way just denying obvious facts in history so that you don't have to be tied to Africa. That's cooning.
It's too much.
Yeah.
The education out of the misinformation is critical. Knowledge of self, very critical. If that's not a focus in your life, then you're definitely going to see a whole bunch of very confused people slide into every, specifically people that look like me. Like that's like I'd be
Timothy,
mad.
stop talking. She can't hear you. You're not black enough.
No, me and Jelly, we've had conversations before.
No, we gotta go. I gotta go to sleep.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's 2
Yeah,
o'clock. Yeah, it's bedtime. All right, y'all. Peace
All
and
right.
power. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. One love.